What's going on, folks? Bill here from the Super Review Show, and welcome to another edition of Mixed Bag. And just a reminder, we the best podcast. Okay, as you can see, we have a little bit of a little bit of a change of appearances this evening. JT is not here. We sent him to a nice vacation, right, Justin?
Yes.
Wait, you killed him?
We sent him on a nice vacation to Fiji.
You killed him.
Oh, we'll explain that
Just
joke
like
later. But anyway,
we're bastards.
Welcome to Mixed Bag. And JT is not here tonight. He's actually at a concert right now with his lovely lady. So I'm stuck with these two guys. I am stuck with but why am I going to do this alone? In the words of John Lennon and Paul McCartney, I'm having a little help from my friends. So joining me, he is my right-hand man on Movieholics Productions and my very good friend, Justin Favaro.
How's it going, folks?
And you remember her. She was on our top 10 SpongeBob episodes. Please welcome the lovely Miss Allie Wiener.
I am back.
And so, how you guys doing tonight?
I can't complain.
I'm good. Well, actually, do you mind if I say something before we begin our little top 10 list?
Absolutely.
First off, I want to say happy 25th to South Park. It has been 25 years. I can't believe it. It's actually older than me, which actually my birthday's tomorrow. So, woohoo. And I just want to thank Matt Stone, Trey Parker for making an amazing series and hope that we have more years to come. And yeah.
Yeah, I have very early memories of South Park.
Okay. So first of all, I'd like to respond. Okay. First, I want to begin by saying, first of all, Allie, happy one day early birthday.
Thanks.
And second of all, as Allie just gave it away, tonight as Allie just said, it is the 25th anniversary of South Park. Can you believe, guys, it's been on for 25 years?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, in honor of this great milestone, tonight we are counting down our top 10 South Park episodes. We're not going to lie. This was, on my end, I don't know about you guys, this was a very hard list to make.
It was a little hard.
Because 25 years, there were just so many good episodes.
Mm-hmm. And I actually tried binging all the episodes in preparation of this. I got up to season 10.
I didn't have to binge anything.
I just literally bounced around and remember what episodes I liked. But anyway, so tonight we are counting down our top. Okay, I just want to give a little disclaimer. South Park does include some controversial topics such as politics and religion. They do not reflect the views of the Super Review Show. We're just talking about these subjects in context of the episode. And
everything is fictionalized.
And everything is fictionalized.
Poorly.
So I think, guys, I think it's time that we go on down to South Park and meet some friends of mine. Boom.
You forgot the rest of the whole theme song.
Oh, do you want me to do the whole thing? I can do it. Or should we just get down to business?
Part.
What?
As long as you do the Kenny fart.
Okay. 1, 2, going down the South Park.
Friendly faces everywhere, humble folks around them places.
Come on down to South Park and leave my world behind.
Every park in there, people saying howdy.
Come on down to South Park, gonna see if I can unwind. And come on down to South Park and meet some friends of mine. That was fun. That was fun. Okay, so
Wait, what does Kenny say?
do we have to say it?
Nah, they can find out on YouTube. There's an orchestral version of the theme song. Go see it.
Allie, would you like to share with the class what he says?
It's too inappropriate. And again, if you really want to know what he says, watch the orchestral version online.
Okay. So anyway, I just want, before we get to honorable mentions, I just want to say these are our personal list. Some of your favorite episodes might be on there. Some of them might not be. And you may agree with us. You may disagree with us. But you know what? This is America.
Wait, is this America? Because I thought this was America.
This is America. And you are free to disagree. And or you can respect our authority. Okay. So enough dilly-dallying. Let's get down to business. We're going to begin with our honorable mentions to show that chivalry is not dead. Ladies first.
You know, I don't like this at all, having to do this first, but I'm going to do it first. So I have a couple honorable mentions here. My first one is pretty much something about teaching people just how to be themselves and not act like Paris Hilton in her stupid horror play set.
Oh, that was a good one.
So mainly the episode is all the girls in South Park Elementary dress up like Paris Hilton and they throw a little party. Wendy gets Mr. Slave to tell him not to. While on the sideline, Paris Hilton tries to get Butters to be her next pet.
And he's got him himself there.
And of course,
yes, and do a horror off, which leads to one of my favorite moments. Ah, Mr. Slave. I wish you had more appearances,
nice.
more speaking roles.
You mean he's the teacher's ass, remember?
Oh, Jesus.
No,
Jesus Christ.
And we also want to tell our fair viewers that, yeah, tonight we're going to be using some language that's not exactly
PC.
Sorry, guys, TVMA.
Because you know what's so good about South Park? They offend everyone.
That's true.
Yeah, they leave no stone unturned.
Yep.
And yeah, okay. So that was
All
your
right.
first honorable mention. What's
Yes,
the next
my second one is a trilogy.
one?
It
Ooh.
is the Black Friday trilogy.
Wiener.
Yes. I just loved it. Like, it was a whole reference pretty much how they talked about how Game of Thrones, it's not just about Black Friday. Forget about that. Because all we know is that it's a super fight between, like, you know, Xbox, PS4. And also, I love the part with Randy Marsh being a security guard. But it's just like, it feels like watching Game of Thrones without watching Game of Thrones. With all the betrayals and all that.
Yeah.
All the weird cheating nonsense,
Red
incest,
Robin.
people killing each other to get like these weird Elmo dolls.
See, Bill? The Tickle Me Elmo Massacre.
And the best part of that
Yes.
trilogy, who wouldn't want to
Stay away from Tickle Me Elmo, kids.
Well, the best part of the trilogy is who wouldn't want to be Princess Kenny.
Oh my god.
Kenny made his dreams come true.
Don't ask why Kenny's being a chick. That's just how he's rolling right now.
All right, my next honorable mention is actually one that I mean, it is a little controversial in some ways, but reverse controversy. It's the last of the Mexicans. It's the episode
Oh my
where they do like
God.
it's so weird. I mean, it's when Butters becomes a hero to the Mexicans as Montezuma's work, Mexican work, where all the Mexicans go back home to their country, and then somehow Cartman leads the border patrol to try to prevent people
Because of
from.
course he does.
Yeah, pretty much Cartman being Cartman, an asshole. And then Butters tries to win the whole thing in the end of their competition, their game that the boys do in the beginning. And my last honorable mention, sadly, what was a temporary one, an indefinite one, Kenny dying.
Wait, which one?
Kenny dies.
Which one?
Kenny dies.
The big one.
The big one. The one where Kenny dies and he doesn't appear for many seasons.
One season.
Okay, do we have to? I think we have to. You ready?
Oh my God! They killed Kenny!
You bastard!
Yeah, so mainly Kenny dies from some sort of illness. So Kenny dies from some sort of illness, and Cartman tries to get stem cells in some ways, but mainly the whole episode was depressing.
Yeah.
You didn't know that Kenny actually dies, not dies, and reappears somehow in so many ways. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, why did that happen? That's a question that has never been answered.
Actually,
Is there like so many clones of Kenny?
it's because Kenny's parents were in a cult for Cthulhu.
But people love Cthulhu, Justin, don't they?
All right, but I yield at this point.
Is that all your honorable mentions?
That's all my honorable mentions. I yield.
All right, Justin, over to you, my friend.
First honorable mention I want to talk about is the mystery of the urinal deuce.
Oh, who went number 2 in the urinal?
Yep, and that's the main reason why. The rest of the episode's okay, but Mr. Mackey in that episode is prime Mackey.
Okay.
Oh, you think it's funny? You think it's funny? Well, let me ask you this. You think it'd be real funny if someone just walks into your house, drops the trousers, okay, and takes a number 2 on your nightstand? You wouldn't think it very funny then, do you? Okay.
I love your Mr. Mackey impression.
He's probably my favorite minor South Park character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
Next, I'm gonna go with Merry Christmas, Charles Manson.
Ooh, I didn't see that one.
Ooh, okay.
Just because you get to see where Cartman comes from, and it explains a lot.
All right.
The rest of it, I'm like, it is pretty cringy, but just to see where Cartman came from.
Wow.
Okay. Any others?
Oh, the New Year's Eve party. The one where Randy and Gerald go in the hot tub together.
Oh, that's the
Oh, the
meteor
comet-
shower one.
The meteor shower one. That
Oh,
was
That was a 3-part episode.
Yeah.
when Stan is hanging out with Butters and there's 2
Yeah.
other.
Yeah.
Oh, they were playing Charlie's Angels.
And they do the Charlie's Angels thing.
That
That was the first speaking role of Butters, too.
Oh, that's me. Oh, wrong episode.
Oh, I'll get to that in a bit.
the boy. It's Butters. That's me.
That is a really good impression, too.
Thank you.
Okay. Any others, Justin, or do you yield?
Those are my honorable mentions.
Okay, I have a couple. Okay, this was a very difficult. This whole list was very hard for me to make. Okay, my first one is the episode Free Hat.
Oh, okay.
It's the one when the Justin, I thought of you while watching this episode, actually.
Oh, God. Why?
Yeah.
Because of the free part?
What?
Forget it.
No, because the episode is about how Kyle out of the gang. Well, Kenny's dead, and they've been replaced by Tweak.
But who dies?
And Kenny's died, and he's replaced by Tweak.
No, you don't remember. I think it was one of the episodes. They just spoiled everything.
Anyway, so what happened is that they don't like how movie directors are re-releasing their movies and re-editing them.
Oh.
See why I thought of you now, Justin?
Now I see where you're coming from.
And they form a club, and they put free hat, and they think, oh, we're gonna give everyone free hats. But it's actually everyone shows up. They think, oh my God, we don't have enough free hats. Well, no, we don't care about the hats. We're here to free Hat McCullough. He went to prison in '82 for killing 24 children. And the governor won't free him.
Oh, wow.
Gee, can't imagine why. You, Justin? But anyway, there's like appearances of Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. Well, they're not, but they're parodied in the episode. And they're trying to do a re-release cut of Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. If JT was here, he'd have a freaking meltdown. If I told him that.
I think he's gonna watch this later and see it.
Yeah, he probably is. Just in case. Hi JT. We want to be honest with you. There's a slight chance we might get your channel shut down tonight. So we're sorry.
It's Bill's fault.
It's my fault. I'll take the L on this one.
You can give him the nuts later.
You should have thought double when you put me in charge. So I'm in charge.
When you gave the green light to a South Park episode.
And yes, I asked the permission of our fearless leader to do this. But anyway, okay, so that's another one episode of mine. Another one is The Jeffersons.
Oh my God!
When a celebrity who has the initial, and it turns out to be. Should I spoil it for the good folks or let them watch it?
No, that's ignorant.
That's ignorant. Come on, Blanket. He can fly.
Not Blanket.
God, they killed Kenny.
You bastard. Okay, another one. You know what? Whilst we're on the subject, dead celebrities.
Oh.
Now, I was going to put that in my top 10, but I was thinking, but Kyle's brother is seeing, dead celebrities. It's basically sort of a parody of The Sixth Sense, once you think about it. Right. Okay, got two more. One is a classic one called Canceled.
Oh, all right.
That's on my list.
I'm going to let Justin explain when he gets to his, and
I'll probably be explaining dead celebrities on my list too.
Damn, I feel stupid right now. Anyway,
again, this is where Homer Simpson chokes Bart.
Why you let him? And then my last one. This was an episode because this was actually the first episode of South Park I ever watched.
Really?
It's called Cartman Joins Nambla.
Oh no! That was your first?
That was the first South Park episode I ever watched.
All right, wait. Before we get into that, Justin, do you remember your first?
It was the anal probe one.
Oh, you went okay. And mine actually, I think my chemistry teacher, I don't know. It was it was one of two episodes. It was the episode with the Helen Keller musical, and then the episode where they lose the Wi-Fi. I don't remember which one I saw first.
Okay. And I just want to say, I remember going, this is NAMBLA, right? Not going to say what that stands for. Go look it up. And they're like, no, we're the National Marlon Brando lookalikes. Wait, the other NAMBLAs are here? Let's go kick their ass. And they stole our domain name. Wow, they do look like Marlon Brando.
Oh, wow.
And then I just love that chase scene when they're like,
Oh my god!
When they're going through the hotel, the dun 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 dun, and they're like, these guys want to have sexual encounters with us, and then they're, oh no, all right, Marlon Brandos, I think they went over there, and then they're like just going like they're going, and then like, you guys are under arrest. No, you got the wrong name login. Damn it! Hey, we didn't try this door. And then the guy from that organization is giving this speech about you need to tolerate us. Dude, you have sex with children. I'm like, you're just scared because we're different. Dude, you have sex with children. Yeah, we believe in tolerance and equality and everything, but dude, you. And yeah, that was my first ever episode of South Park that I watched.
Wow.
So yeah, I took a little stroll down memory lane. Okay, so without further ado,
so we're on to the top 10.
All right, Allie.
Ooh, all right.
Kick us off.
Well, since it is my birthday tomorrow, I wish I could go to this place at number 10. You guys know where it is?
Casa Bonita.
Casa Bonita is my number 10 episode.
Casa Bonita. Casa.
So mainly what happens is that Cartman pretty much tries to take Butter's place and go into Casa Bonita by convincing Butters that it's the end of the world and Butters is in this weird place, and
Because of course.
Yeah. And everyone's trying to find Butters and stuff. But the last part of that episode where Cartman just runs through Casa Bonita doing everything.
How much you want to bet that Butter still ended up getting grounded?
Like he always does.
Mm-hmm. Like, oh, good tacos. Like, it's a skydiving thing. And I think Cartman just does the diving in.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the policemen were like, "You're arrested. Is this all worth it?"
Yeah.
I think it was just a really good episode.
Oh, it's a funny episode.
And I wish Casa Bonita was real.
It is real.
It is?
It is?
Yeah.
Where?
I think in Colorado.
Really?
Wow.
And Trey Parker and Matt Stone do own it.
Whoa.
They bought it out of bankruptcy.
Oh my God. That is awesome.
Hey, road trip.
Next year we'll do it. We'll take a road trip to Colorado. Go to all the places in Colorado where South Park was filmed. Well,
Justin, you in?
Maybe.
all right. I'm done talking about Casa Bonita.
Okay, Justin, over to you.
All right. So my number 10 is canceled.
Oh.
Really?
I kind of love how this is. They play on the rerun, you know, because it starts out exactly like the first episode, and then they were like, "Wait,
school days, school days."
Very deja vu.
Yeah.
And then the big reveal: they're all on television, intergalactic television.
Wow.
It's bonkers. And of course they have like the alien dumping all the exposition. They have him as a anthropomorphic taco.
What do you think of the concept of like Earth just being a reality show? It's kind of nihilistic once you think about it.
It's a little scary how much truth there is in it.
My question is, though, is it in this universe or is it in another universe?
Say that again?
Could this happen in this universe or in another universe?
The
multiverse theory.
Oh, jeez.
I knew you two would get along. She's in the Marvel too.
Awesome.
All right. Any more to say, or is it my turn?
it's always fun to see them spin the concept of meta humor, of the whole thing about how they were going to get canceled, and that means the whole plan was going to get blown up, and they only way they got to reassure them was with a compromising tape of them doing scandalous things.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, you want to know an interesting fact, Justin
What's up?
and Allie? Remember at the end of the episode when they said, you know, the Americans in Iraq are going to have a drag-out brawl. That episode actually premiered on March 19th, 2003, the day the U.S. invaded Iraq.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
You know how they always joke around that the Simpsons predict the future?
Yes. Did the South Park predict the future?
Well, South Park has a 6-day turnaround time, so their fingers pretty much on the pulse of society.
Yeah, I think that's what's so great about it. And, whilst we go through this list, we're going to talk about why South Park is so great. All right. Anything else, Justin, or over to me?
Over to you.
Okay, my number 10, I feel like I kind of had to put this on here. Osama bin Laden has 40 pants. This was the first episode that was aired after 9/11. And
that opening shot.
When they're all the opening shot, folks, is the gang is sitting there and they all have their gas mask on. And they're like, okay, because aside from 9/11, there was also an anthrax
scare.
And yeah, this episode, I think, aired like almost 2 months after the events of 9/11. And they're all scared, and they are sending dollars to aid in Afghanistan. And the four boys there, to thank them, they send them a goat. And they try to send the goat back. So they go to Afghanistan themselves with the U.S. military. I think it's so funny when they think the U.S. military thinks that the goat is Stevie Nicks.
Oh my god.
Miss Stevie Nicks. And then the Taliban has captured Stevie Nicks.
Oh boy.
And they just captured the goat, and the boys go into Afghanistan, and then when they meet, and then they see Osama bin Laden. And he just comes off as kind of, weird.
Derpy.
Yeah. And you know what I actually find very amusing? The Cartman, the dynamics with
funny routine that Cartman pulls off.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Laden.
Kind of reminds me of like a Bugs Bunny.
Oh.
It's kind of like a Bugs Bunny Elmer Fudd cartoon.
My favorite was when Cartman dressed up as an Arab lady on a camel, and he goes for the camel. Screwball.
Nice.
And when they do a magnificent on the magnify glass and they show his. And then I remember Cartman goes, time to pray. And he has the carpet, he goes, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And
it's just like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah. But you know what? I think this is a good episode. Because come to think of it, this episode was released at a time when America needed South Park and needed to laugh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because, and just watching the episode, it just kind of reminded me of, Justin and I are the same age. Allie, you're a couple years younger. But I kind of vaguely 9/11 happened when I was very young.
I mean, I know I was 4, so
I was like 7, but I do remember some of the things like and they put it in the episode, like American flags everywhere.
Yeah.
And, people just scared, and people, like people just glued to the television watching the news. And you know what? And you know, I remember that too. And this wasn't in the episode, but I remember that freaking song "God Bless the USA" was on every radio station.
They replaced
so, but that's
they replaced it on the overhead announcements on back in elementary school when I lived in New Windsor. They replaced they used to play America the Beautiful. They replaced it with that song.
And listen, if you like that song, go ahead, like it. But not my cup of tea. But that's a whole different rant for another video. But anyway, but you know what? I like the end when they say when they have that little American flag. I say, you know what? America has our problems, but it's our home, and you can't leave your team when you or something like that. And like, go America, go America. And you know that's a nice end because, like I said, this was released at a time where we needed to laugh. We were scared to death after 9/11 and the anthrax scare. We were just absolutely terrified, and we needed something to raise our spirits. And I felt like that episode, Trey Parker and Matt Stone was telling, hey, it's okay to laugh. It's okay to have fun. We can poke fun at Osama bin Laden. We can poke fun at the Taliban. It's okay.
But
Relax.
Bill, it hasn't been 23 years yet.
Oh, a reference to another episode.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone have that episode on their list?
No.
I don't think
Me
so.
neither. But should we explain that joke for those who don't really watch South Park? Justin, would you care to do the honors?
Was that the shit episode?
I think that was the Jared episode.
Oh,
Yes, the Jared episode. Right, because it's finally funny.
Which that's just in the context of the episode. We don't really think that. But you know what? No, we shouldn't really be talking about that episode with, you know, things that happened to Mr. Fogel in the past.
God damn it,
years.
he's a Jew.
Okay, you're really trying to get us shut down here. Allie, what's your number 9?
Well, we're gonna get shut down. Well, not canceled. It's not number 9. My number 9 is a losing edge.
Is that the baseball one?
Yes, it's the baseball one. Where South Park Little League team tries to lose every game so they don't have to play baseball anymore. But somehow all the other teams just make them win in some ways. And one of the best parts of that episode is Randy getting drunk and beating up other dads, getting arrested. No. What do you think I'm doing? Like, you think it's crazy? I shouldn't be doing this. I thought this was America. And somehow, ironically, Randy causes South Park to lose in the end. I know they try to bring Kyle's cousin, whose also name is Kyle from Connecticut.
And Boo.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but somehow they never told the other Kyle why they needed him. You're going to see a lot more episodes on my top list involving Randy. Because gosh darn it, Randy Marsh is my favorite character on South Park.
I just love that episode. Yay, we're done. Congratulations, boys. You're going to the playoffs. Wait, what? And they're like trying to throw the games. And it's hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
I really do like that episode. It's
You
so
know,
funny.
I've got a weird question. Has this ever happened to any Little League teams where they have a drunk father just beating up other dads?
I wouldn't doubt it.
I mean, I've seen drunk people fighting like in baseball games recently.
It has to have happened somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it happens.
Yep.
I thought this was America.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Justin, over to you. Wait, Allie, were you done or?
I'm done.
Justin, over to you, buddy.
All right. Allie, get ready for this one. Because everyone knows it's Butters.
Oh, that's me.
Me!
Butters' very own episode.
That episode is hilarious. I recently revisited that episode. So for those who have not seen it, it's the Stotch's anniversary, and this is back when Mr. Stotch's name was Chris. By the way, they did end up changing his name to something else. Can't remember. But the Stotch's anniversary. Mrs. Stotch, being a nosy mother, tells Butters to go out and see what Daddy's buying her for the anniversary. So Inspector Butters is on the gate.
Everyone knows it's Butters.
That's me.
So Butters follows Mr. Stotch to a movie theater. He comes out very quickly. Then he finds him in a gay bathhouse where he is performing very compromising acts.
He was wrestling. He didn't do so good. He got pinned a few times. No, that was a direct quote from the episode.
Yep. So when he reports this to Mrs. Stotch, she goes insane and tries to kill Butters.
Oh, didn't she try to drive him off? Try to leave him in the car and just push him off into a lake?
Yep. So she breaks down in front of Mr. Stotch, and they come up with a cover story that he was kidnapped by some Puerto Rican guy. In which case, they start getting wide support from people like O.J. Simpson and who were the other two, Bill?
I don't remember. I haven't seen
Neither
it
do
in a
I.
while.
I think one of them was a congressman too.
Maybe.
So when Butters eventually turns out okay in the end, Mr. Stotch comes out and apologizes to everyone. And then he goes to town on OJ and those other two families. He was like, well, you're a liar. You're a dirty liar. You know, that's what people would tell me. And then people would see my wife, and he'd be like, oh, hello. But deep inside, they're like, murderer, you dirty murderer, come back, you murdering liar. And it would just cut to all three of them, like, with their dumb, smug expressions, like,
Yeah.
Who's the boy? It's Butters.
That's me.
I love Butters.
He's so innocent. But yeah, everyone picks on him.
He's like the anti-Eric Hartman once you think about it.
I know.
he is.
They're just a foil to each other. Oh, I know this isn't on my list, but hopefully it is on your list. Remember Osimo.
Oh, wait, you
It's
forgot
fine.
me.
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay, you guys ready for my number 9?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay, my number 9 is an episode called Chef Goes Nanners.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Yes, you're going to be getting the professorial lecture. You're going to be getting the lecture from Professor Murphy in a little bit. But no, okay. The episode is that Jimbo and Chef, probably one of my favorite characters on the show, Chef. Hey kids,
Hi, Chef.
Hello,
Hey, Chef.
children.
Um,
How's
What's
it
good with
going?
the lunch? Oh, rest in peace, Isaac Hayes.
hi, Chef. But anyway, Jimbo and Chef are Jimbo, who is Randy's brother, or
I think so. I don't know.
are in
Yeah,
an
I think-
argument at South Park City Hall when they're fighting over their town flag.
Oh.
And the town flag is
A
a
black
bunch
man
of-
being hung by a group of white people.
Okay, anyway, I'm sorry, I just got an interruption from my brother. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. But anyway, it's of a black man being hung and
By a group of white people.
by a group of white people. And Jimbo starts by saying, Chef, I respect you, but this is about history. The people like when my great grandfather came here. And then they hold up the flag. Now, please tell us why you think this is racist. Okay, folks, listen, you don't need a PhD to know why that's racist.
You know, it kind of reminds me of
Well, I do
like an
think it's
episode
racist,
now.
but it is our history. Well, it is our history, but I do think it is kind of racist.
And yeah, I'll get to that in a second. So hold on to that point, Justin. Hold on to it. But and also as a side plot, the children of South Park Elementary are now forced to be in the debate whether the flag should be changed or not. Because we got to drag the children into this. The poor,
Of course.
sweet, innocent children. What was that, Justin?
Of course.
We have to drag the children into this. And Cartman gets put on a team with Wendy Testaburger.
Oh.
And
Oh,
there's a little
I'm
tension
surprised nothing
between
came out of that.
there's a little tension between them. Yeah, so that's the subplot. But back to the main plot, there is like a huge debate over whether the flag should be changed. And it gets to the point where the KKK are on the side of don't change the flag. And
When you're on the side of the KKK, something's rotten in the state
Yeah.
of Denmark.
but what I find interesting, like there is a part of the episode when the newscaster's asking them questions. And Justin, would you do that again, please?
Well, I do think it's racist, but it is our history. Well, I do think it's our history, but I can see how it is kind of racist.
And later on with when the KKK there, we asked what they think of the KKK being here. Well, I do believe it's racist, but it is free speech. Going, I do believe it's free speech, but it's racist. And then Chef goes, oh, you people are just so indecisive. And I'm like, watching this episode now. Here's where I'm putting my professor hat on.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of explores that these issues are not as simple as you think.
I can agree with you on that because I was thinking about this too.
A lot of these issues, because we've been seeing this over the last few years with debate whether the Confederate flag should come down, whether Confederate statues should go down.
Mississippi, they ended up changing their flag, which had the Confederate flag in there.
And you hear the debates. Well, it's part of listen.
Well, should the Washington Indians change their name? No.
That's a whole nother conversation. But as I'm a white dude from the Northeast, so I don't really have a dog in the fight on the debate. But you can see for someone who's African American, that flag's like, yeah, that's racist. It represents segregation. It represents slavery. But if you're a white Southerner, you could see that as, hey, that's just our heritage. And, I like this episode because it shows that these issues are complex.
Yeah.
And people, and, it acknowledges that yes, it's part of our history, but it is racist. Like
Mhm.
that is a statement. And you can acknowledge that racism is a part of our history. And, you know, in the end episode, he has spoiler here when Jimbo goes, you know what? I figured out that I was on the side of Klansmen. I don't have any problem with blacks. And he goes, and Chef goes, I know, Jimbo, you're a good man. And he goes, this was about this to me. It was just about history. It wasn't about race. Because if you look through the episode, Jimbo's intentions really have nothing to do with race.
No.
Nope.
And he gets actually uncomfortable when the Klan is on his side.
Yep.
And he even and at first said, "Oh my God, if they're on our side, I'm not going to get my way." But he does come to the epiphany that he realizes people can view that as racist. You know, while Chef is going into the thing, when he really starts, if you watch the episode, he starts turning on a lot of the people once you think about it. He starts calling them names. He just starts hating them. He said, you know what? I just figured out I'm just as bad as the people I thought I was hating at that moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? And that's the thing. Again, and I've said this twice already. I like the episode because it shows these type of issues are complex and there's not really an easy answer. And listen, everybody has their own views on whether flags or statues should come down or not. And, you know, everyone's entitled to their opinion. But I like I like how they show the complexity of these issues. Like, what do you guys think? Am I crazy or?
No, I mean, to think of it again,
No.
we mentioned this before. This is a lot going on nowadays in our country.
And I think it's relevant to today once you think about it.
Mhm.
All right. And trust me, that's not my only professorial lecture you're going to hear tonight. You're going to hear a couple. You know what the thing is about South Park is it's a show that's so stupid, but yet so smart at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why it sounds like I'm giving a doctoral thesis on a lot of these episodes. Because you could probably write a bunch of master or doctoral theses on these episodes.
You know, I
I
remember
saw a very interesting video essay on the streaming wars, how it represents end-stage capitalism.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. And I just want to say, when we do talk politics and religion here, like we here on SRS, on Super Review Show, we don't really like talking about those subjects, but we're talking about them in the context of the episode.
Yeah.
We just want to give that. We're talking about it in the context of the episode.
Yep.
Okay. So we are now at number 8.
All right. Well, before we go to 8, I know we were talking about this, and I remember the last time Bill and I were working on an episode doing our top 10 SpongeBob, saying SpongeBob is educational. In some sort of way, South Park is too.
What do you think,
Some sort
Justin?
of way.
Sort of in the same way as just teaching you about the world,
Yeah, it is.
like the real world, like outside of the school and college bubble.
Right. All right. Well, now going back to my number 8, we're going to the beginning, people.
The very first episode?
Cartman gets an anal probe. I didn't see the Jesus one, I'll be honest, the original unaired. But at number 8, you have to go with the original in there. It's the reason why South Park became
School days.
It's the reason why South Park became South Park. I mean, I didn't really see it originally as its own episode. I saw it for one of my favorite YouTube channels, Twisted Tunes. They did a reading of it and I laughed so hard. But to watch it realistically, I'm like, oh my God, this is actually really good. Like from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
Where Cartman calls Kyle a Bilbo. To the first, ready, Ike? Kick the baby!
Kick the baby!
Don't kick the baby. Kick the baby! To Chef's first appearance. To when Ike gets abducted. To what the kids
And
tried.
let's
Yeah.
and let's not forget when Kyle just wears up a storm at the very end, and it's all bleeped out, even in like the HBO Max. And it's just they use the censorship as a joke. I'm sorry, I love those kind of things.
That's okay. Oh, and the first time Kyle barks at Stan barks at Wendy.
Yeah.
Ew. Oh man. And mainly the whole point is that Cartman had an anal probe into him, in which he thought was a dream.
Yeah.
But is it the real life? Or is it just fantasy?
Caught in a landslide.
No escape from reality.
Open your eyes.
Look up to the skies and see. Oh, that's another thing, but
That's a thing for another day, folks.
yeah, but it technically it was real in South Park.
Yeah. Just looking for the title of my number 8. I remember the plot vividly. I just can't remember the title.
What was it about?
It's when Kenny's parents are trying to conceive a new kid.
That's the Nambla episode.
That is the name. Oh,
That's
God.
the Nambla episode.
So it turns out that was my exposure to South Park as well. But I don't remember the Nambla bit. That sounded dirty too. But yes, I have vivid memories as a child of that episode, and how it looked to me. It looked like Kenny was essentially trying to poison his father. That's what was going on in my 5-year-old brain, 5 or 6.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm messed up.
You are messed up, my
You know
friend.
what's weird? Is that in the end of that episode, the McCormicks did have another baby.
Kenny.
Yeah, another Kenny.
It's like, what, the 50th time this happened? 52nd.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, you ready for mine?
I'm ready.
Okay, my number 8 is Margaritaville.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. Why
But-
Margaritaville?
Okay, you know what? Okay, can I just be honest with you folks? I did a little
No,
last
I want you to lie to me.
I did a last minute rearranging, and because I put an episode that I just thought of and I put it in there. But I actually had an original episode that I took out. So do you guys want me to talk about both I had at number 8 or just
Why not? Because I did the same at number 7.
Okay, I'm kind of putting it's a tie.
Woohoo! We love ties.
Who doesn't like a good tie? Do you like a good tie, Justin?
Well, I had to wear one last week, so.
Yeah. No, anyway. Thank you. He'll be here all
But
week.
wait, why should we have a tie when we need a towel-y? Because as you know what they say.
You don't want towels around? Okay, my number 8. Okay, because both of them actually, my 2 number 8s, they both have to do with controversial eras. The one that I originally put on there was an episode was actually the 100th episode.
Oh.
It's called I'm a Little Bit Country.
Oh my
And I'm
god!
a little bit rock and roll.
And the plot of the episode is that this came out right around in the early days of the Iraq War, and there's a protest going on in which the majority of the gang's family is on the anti-war side, and Kenny's parents are on the pro-war side. And after embarrassing themselves on local TV, Mr. Garrison makes the students write a report about what the founding fathers would think about the war. Saying, would they say, yeah, let's go to war, or have the right to protest? And Cartman, trying to get out of it, does weird ways to get out and go do a flashback. And then he literally jumps himself into a pool with the TiVo on, electrocutes himself, and goes into a coma, and goes flashback to 1776.
Oh, wow.
And while they're debating whether or not to go to war with England. And then saying, well, we got to show that we're strong. Or, no, we got to do it through peace. And then Ben Franklin in the episode goes, we should live in a country that's not afraid to defend itself, but has people voicing the opposition.
So in the end, it's both.
You can have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
No, they use that exact line in the episode. And then Cartman gets up, and at this rally, the pro-war people and the anti-war people are getting ready to kill each other. And with the song, I'm a little bit country, I'm a little bit rock and roll. And then Cartman says, we could say one thing and do another. You could be for war and protest against it. And then that end song, which is saying, oh, we love being hypocrisy. And then it's not really hypocrisy once you think about it. Because we live in a country that has free speech, and you can have people, you can speak out against your country if it's doing something that you believe is morally wrong. Mm-hmm. And that's the premise of the episode. And I like at the end, goes, thank you for 100 episodes. For the war, against the war, who cares? 100 episodes.
Woo!
and then okay, my other one was Margaritaville.
And it's gone.
Okay, now this one has to do with the recession. Around 2008, 2009. When first Stan puts a check that he got from his grandmother. And okay, that banker was doing some, listen, I'm not a finance expert.
But let's just say it's
I think
gone.
what that banker was doing was illegal.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But no, once they give you a check and you put it in an account, you're like, okay, I'll put it in an account. Okay, have a good day. And he's like, oh, I'm going to invest in this, and it's gone. And then everybody's affected by it. And then Randy in the main plot goes by this, basically treats the economy like it's a god.
Yeah.
Yeah. And literally wears bed sheets.
And saying, no more needless spending. We're not going to watch cable. We're going to watch clouds. We're going to wear bed sheets. And Kyle thinks this is crap and says, no, we should spend more. That's what helps the economy. And when you think about it, it's kind of a story of the Passion.
Oh, it is.
Because Randy represents Caiaphas. Kyle represents Jesus.
What does Cartman represent?
Cartman is Judas.
Good. Of course.
And when Cartman says, all I want is Grand Theft Auto for DS, the game is basically the 20 pieces of silver that Caiaphas gave Judas when he betrayed Jesus. And it's actually interesting. I actually recommend the channel Wisecrack on YouTube. They actually go into detail about it. It's very interesting. Go check it. Go watch that video when you're done here. It's very interesting. And the subplot, there's a margarita machine.
Stan.
And Stan is just trying to return it. It goes, well, the store goes, well, it was bought with a payment plan. You got to go to the corporate. Okay. Yeah, because of this thing and this security thing, you're going to have to go to Wall Street. And they're explaining to it, and they're going, Yeah, go to the Treasury Department in DC. He just wants to return his damn machine.
And we're going to the end done by a headless chicken.
Yeah, an endless chicken decides our financial fate, folks. But they're going like they literally go another insurance company is going under. What do we do? Go, well, we got to consult the chart. They go and they show the chicken. They cut his head off, and it dances around. So the guy plays like a kazoo thing, and then he goes bail out, and the guy goes bail out the insurance company. Yeah, that's how our financial fate is decided, folks. A guy cuts off
Sometimes
chicken.
it feels that way.
Yeah,
It kind of does. Yeah, yeah, but also from that Wisecrack video, when you see how Randy's thoughts treating the economy like a god is kind of his, because if you've listened to the song Margaritaville, it kind of ties into everything. At the line when the guy has an epiphany and says, "It's my own damn fault."
oh wow.
It's about taking responsibility. Like,
Are you sure it's not about getting wasted away in Margaritaville?
no, it's that's a debate for another video. So anyway, yeah. So it's a tie between Margaritaville and I'm a Little Bit Country.
All right.
Allie, 7.
So I'm going with my own tie because I originally had one episode and then I swapped it like just when I came home from work today. I thought because after listening to a song from that episode, and then you said you want ties, I'll give you a tie. So my first number 7. Yeah, I think we need a little bit of something. What do you guys know what we think we need?
What?
Integrity.
What was that?
Integrity.
Oh, some weed.
Hey, good is fun.
It's early to bed and early to rise. I don't know, but I was watching, like, I got stuck in my head the concert version of it, where I'm sorry I have to do this. Like the whole, well, I'm just gonna go to the concert part and then I'm gonna talk about Integrity Farms. Like the song they did in the concert, and then they said, "The Joe Biden took her jabs."
He took a jab.
He
Took a jab.
Not doing it, Bill.
What was that?
They took
They
a
took
jab.
a jab.
Good jobs.
They took a jab. They took a
I will be
jab.
honest, if I have to annoy somebody with that, that's the best way to annoy somebody. But anyways, the reason why I had Integrity Farms on here, mainly I just loved, it was a very modern episode, but yet somehow it started mainly because the kids in elementary school were vaping and Randy hated it and he decided to move his whole family onto a Colorado farm growing weed. And then one day when he noticed Stan having a vape pen, he decided to go attack the vaping industry. While at the same time, Cartman and Butters are running a little third-party selling and having Kyle there to prevent him from doing anything. And we get the return of everybody's favorite, Towley.
Want to get high?
Well, unfortunately, I guess after his episode in Crippled Summer where he went to rehab, he sort of relapsed on weed. Because now he got me some weed and I hardly know what's going on.
I have no idea what's going on.
Oh my goodness.
Not me, you don't want Tally around.
Oh, and the best part is when besides all Randy's hemp stuff, when he puts on the hemp hat, you know what plays?
What?
Spin Doctors 2 Princess. That got me to love that song right away. 1, 2. And I wish I knew the lyrics. Man. And now for my second one, this one I had put down originally was the 300th episode. Shots. Mainly the episode was just Eric Cartman refusing to get any vaccinations. and he squeals around like a little piggy, naked in Crisco. And everyone's trying to get him to take a vaccine. And it ended up becoming a rodeo in which after Eric's mom got kicked out, she saves him by accidentally getting vaccinated, in which Cartman thought he would get artistic if he got vaccinated.
This.
I know, very controversial. And people, vaccines do not cause autism.
Amen.
Thank you.
Seriously, go get your vaccines. Even if you don't want to, even if you don't think it's the right thing, even if it's religious exemptions, go get a vaccine. But the other,
Right.
yeah,
Are you good or?
I'm good. The other sideline of it is that Randy celebrating his big sale with China, and him having a fallout with Towley, and pretty much Towley tells Randy he'll come back if he tells him to fuck the Chinese. All right.
All right, Justin, you're number 7.
All right, so my number 7, going back to the beginning again, with the episode Death. This is the euthanasia episode.
Ooh.
It's where Stan's grandfather keeps asking Stan to,
Oh.
And his suffering.
yeah. And he keeps asking people if that's the right thing to do. He asked Chef, he asked
Garrison.
Jesus, and they all say the same thing. I'm not touching that with a 40-foot pole. And then, of course, you have the B plot with all the parents going to the studio that produces Terrence and Phillip because of what they consider to be toilet humor.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the whole time they're committing toilet humor of their own, making them hypocrites. And icing on the cake is when the Grim Reaper himself shows up at the end, chasing the boys around South Park all over the place, and then they stop at the TV store where Terrence and Phillip is playing. They all stop to watch it, and then when the parents finally succeed in changing the network, they change it to a new show, and the Reaper gets angry and touches Kenny, killing him.
Oh my God, they
God,
killed Kenny!
You bastard!
And of course, what they replace it with is almost as offensive as Terrence and Phillip, if not worse. And of course, Kyle's mom gets offended.
Nah, I'm not gonna say it. Bill?
Yeah. So, yeah, it kind of sounds like it covers a controversial issue, which is one of them, and then, issues of censorship as well.
Yep.
Okay. Justin, you good or?
Yeah, I'm pretty good on that one.
Okay, my number 7 is The Ring.
Oh.
I wasn't going to put this on my list, but I got the song stuck in my head, and I'm like, okay, you know what?
Ring.
Okay, this is Kenny gets a new girlfriend. And Kenny gets a girlfriend. And there's a rumor going around that his girlfriend is naughty. and then it finds out that she's obsessed with the Jonas Brothers. So it goes to a Jonas Brother concert, and after the show, they meet the girlfriend and a bunch of other girls meet the band. Goes, we see you be getting too crazy out there. We want to know if you wear purity rings.
No.
Okay, first I want to say before I go on, it is so weird watching this because this is back when the Jonas Brothers were like in their late teens, early 20s.
Mhm.
And now they're like in their 20s and 30s and are married. And
30s.
they're in their no, one of them is like in their late 20s.
No,
Married
30.
with children.
Okay. I stand corrected. Thank you. But knowing that now most that they're all like in their 30s, married and have children, it's kind of strange, you know? Yeah, but anyway, so they get a ring. For those of you who don't know what purity rings are, it's basically a ring saying that you're not gonna until you're married. So then it shows that the ring is just making Kenny boring. And the Jonas Brothers decide not to wear the rings because they think because the Disney plan is that they're gonna sell sex to young girls by that. Because you know what they say, sex sells.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have their boss who is a foul-mouthed version of Mickey Mouse. and then he like literally assaults one of them. And then he's like, "Don't you talk to me like that! Get the and then like, do we have a problem? No, Mr. Mouse. No, Mr. Mouse. And yeah, so anyway, so Stan, Cartman, and Kyle are trying to help Kenny because he blows them off when they hang out. And then when he hangs out with his girlfriend, and then he just like freezes and be like, oh no, what's going on? And then they track down the Jonas Brothers, and Mickey uses the tranquilizer darts and says, wait, are they from DreamWorks? Tam Eisner trying to run this company again? And okay, factual error here. It was Jeffrey Katzenberg, not Michael Eisner, that started DreamWorks. Trey Parker and Matt Stone. Do your research.
That was 2009.
Maybe they did that on purpose just to irk people.
So, and then there is this scene, like, I don't want to say what's said because it does involve a slur that I do not want to say.
Okay.
I'll just censor it if that's okay. And I know that's against the point of everything, but he's yelling to the Jonas Brothers, go, you know, a nice Christian symbol shouldn't be used for profit gain. We've all angered God. And he says to the Jonas Brothers, you three are going on stage, and looks to Stan, Kyle, and Cartman, and you three are not going to stop me. So yeah, I think it's just a fun episode. And just seeing a foul-mouthed Mickey Mouse is like absolutely hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
Is like absolutely freaking ridiculous.
Doesn't that foul-mouthed Mickey Mouse appear in a couple other episodes?
Yes. And you know what? I have to give a hat tip to the Jonas Brothers because they were good sports about it, and they actually found the episode funny. Like when it first came out, they said, "Oh, we just didn't have time to watch it because we were busy touring and stuff." But because I read somewhere that Nick Jonas said, "No, when I first watched it, I couldn't stand it because I lived that with the purity rings, and I was just so in that mindset. I just didn't think it was funny." But then But then, like years later, because when I took the ring off and I watched it again, I found that I thought the episode was absolutely hilarious. Good to know that. Good for the Jonas Brothers that they were willing to poke fun at themselves and willing to laugh at themselves. So I give them credit for that. One of the very few things I give them credit for, but I give them credit for that. All right, Allie, what's your number 6?
All right. My number 6 is something Walmart This Way Comes.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that's a good episode.
But South Park finally puts up a Walmart, and pretty much everyone ends up in there, whether they go there 24/7 or they end up working in there. And it's like this Walmart is pretty much consuming the town in some ways. And Stan and Kyle, they're trying to tell people, no, that's not the way. We should stop buying stuff at Walmart. Town didn't listen. They ended up burning it down, singing Kumbaya, my lord. Next day, it gets built up.
And then they rebuild it.
Mm-hmm. And then Cartman tries to prevent Stan, Kyle, and Kenny from killing Walmart by going with them to Bentonville, having a knife, even though they knew the whole time that Cartman's trying to kill them. And then,
I've been working for. Yes, we know you've been working.
Yeah.
You've been
And
working for
also,
Walmart
like-
the whole time. Yeah, I'm the one who cut the tires on the way to Arkansas.
Oh my God. And also the fact that there's been 3 times in that episode where when somebody dies, you know what comes out of them?
What? I don't remember. I haven't seen it in a while.
Dead.
Oh,
You owe me $5, Kyle.
Oh
And
yeah.
even Walmart
the-
does it in the end.
the
after they kill
dedicating
it.
when you die. Yeah.
I hate to say weirdly true.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is the case.
Yep. And again, another Randy moment. Him pretty much can't stop, taking on all these deals. He has to go to Walmart all the time.
Mm-hmm.
well, it's kind of commentary
Speaking-
how that drugstore closes, how like when big corporations come in and then
Yeah.
little mom and pop businesses
like-
close down.
It's like a whole monopoly. back
Yeah,
then. And nowadays it's still kind of like that in some
it
ways.
kind of is.
Mm-hmm.
But now again, you have all these online internet things where people can sell their own stuff online too.
Yeah, thank Jeff Bezos.
Too bad Fulfillment Center wasn't in my list.
All right, Allie, you good or
I'm good.
All right.
Justin?
My next pick is the WTF,
Oh,
the wrestling episode.
yes.
So in this episode, the boys want to take up wrestling, but they find out real wrestling
Thank you for saying it right.
Wrestling.
The Greco-Roman
Yeah.
wrestling.
is a little not for them. So they decide to make their own wrestling federation, but they don't really wrestle. They just shit talk each other all the time. And it becomes more about the storylines than it is about wrestling. You know, kind of how it is in real life. And then they plan like this big WrestleMania kind of event. The one thing that sticks out so clearly in my mind is Cartman's character being like addicted to abortion.
Oh wow. Mhm.
And then at the end, you have the wrestling teacher have a breakdown in front of the entire audience, and he's the one who gets to deal with, I guess it's Vince McMahon, and goes on and becomes famous and wins $10 million or whatever.
Yeah, I can kind of see that because Allie, I know you're really into wrestling.
Yep.
But I can see like people who they like high school wrestling may be offended by something like the
They can
WWE
be.
because that's
Because they claim technically the whole difference is that all these like wrestling promotions like WWE, ROH, Impact, All Elite, they're sports entertainment. There is a lot of wrestling in there, but it's entertainment. And that's what like Cartman and the guys were doing with WTF. Just sports entertainment, but there was no fighting.
now it's just like basically watching a staged out play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly
And
what it
you know,
was.
I can see why people who actually who wrestle in high school or college would be offended by something like that. Yeah, so you got any more to say on that, Justin, or over to me?
Over to you.
Okay, my number 6 is Chef Aid.
No.
This was
Okay.
a very early episode. Chef. Okay, Cartman is singing a song by Alanis Morissette, which turns out that Chef wrote. And Chef wants credit. And the record company says no, and the record company sues Chef, which doesn't really make any sense. And then comes the trial. They get Johnny Cochran with the Chewbacca defense. Going, he's a Wookiee. Does it make any sense that I'm talking about a Wookiee in trial? No, it doesn't. That makes just as much sense, guys, as, and I'm sad I didn't put this episode on here. Man Bear Pig.
Oh, Man Bear Pig.
I listen to you, Man Bear Pig.
Al Gore.
Anyway, but yeah, so they're trying to find ways to raise money. And you know, I love the record producer who's like, isn't that illegal? I'm above the law. And then it turns out that Chef used to work in the rock business and knows some pretty famous names, such as Elton John, Ozzy, and they play Chef Aid like Live Aid.
Oh wow!
And you know what I love? I love the Cartman German dance. I do my dance for you, and it's such a fun episode. And then, and like I said, I love Chef, so it's just such a fun episode. Seeing everybody there, and seeing all the music artists. So yeah, highly recommend. So yeah, I recommend this episode. And oh my God, Ozzy Osbourne bit Penny's head off.
You bastard!
Ozzy.
Wow, that was a good one.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
So we're getting to the top 5. We're in the top 5. Yay!
Wow.
Allie?
So, my number 5 pick is medicinal fried chicken.
Justin's happy.
So pretty much after soccer practice, which Cartman doesn't participate in, the guys are ready to go to KFC, which they find out when they get there is a medicinal marijuana place. And after Randy realizes it, he tries to find a way to give himself cancer. Dad, Mom says stop giving yourself cancer.
Just a little bit of cancer.
And Cartman tries to find a way to get himself Kentucky Fried Chicken at the same time. And ends up I don't know, in some sort of like mafia thing where he gets
Scarface.
Scarface. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what it was. But I'll go back to the Randy plot afterwards. Pretty much Cartman is Scarface way, ends up trying to get Kentucky Fried Chicken. And somehow ends up going to the Colonel.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Randy gets testicular cancer. And finally gets his weed. A Buffalo Soldier. I forgot the rest of the lyrics. And then, like, his I guess you could say his balls were like an actual ball. Yes. He ends up using his hoppity up while getting high. And then all of a sudden he tells all these other guys, if you guys want to get medical marijuana, you have a microwave at home. And they
Nothing
all
like
do it.
exercise balls.
I think this is when during the time where Colorado legalized medical marijuana.
Yep. And there was also stuff in the news where they were making fast food illegal in some places.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
Or maybe it was the fast food tax. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't remember ever hearing fast food being illegal.
There was something about it.
Yeah. But
maybe,
in the
maybe
end,
it was like a bill or something. I don't know.
yeah. In the end, Randy's balls are metal. And they
Mhm.
ended up putting both KFC and medical marijuana in the same place. Therefore, medicinal fried chicken. Actually, that sounds really good right now. All right.
Extra
It really
greasy
does.
for medicinal purposes.
Not that we promote drug use on this channel.
CBDs, people. CBDs.
For medicinal purposes only. All right. Justin, my friend, over to you.
All right, my number 5. I got a Cartman episode for you guys.
Ooh.
That's the name of the episode. It's the nanny episode.
Oh.
Now a lot of people like to point out the Scott Tenorman episode as the point of no return for Cartman.
No.
No, I beg to differ. It's this episode. This is the episode where Cartman literally upchucks the rest of the goodness inside of him. And now all that's left is this evil little shit.
Wow.
And you see that at the very end with the laugh and his maniacal laughter in his mind. Because at first you don't know what side he threw up. Was it his good half or was it his bad half? No, he threw up his good half.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you try to fix Eric Cartman. You create a devil.
And that's when where Caesar Milan pretty much tries to tame Eric, right?
Yep.
Because fun fact, Caesar Milan did do a reaction to this episode.
Yes, I do remember that.
And he actually pointed out a lot of good things about it.
I gotta see that. Is that, are you talking about that's the episode with Caesar Milan?
Yes. That's why I was doing a I was almost gonna put that on my top 10 list, but I didn't.
Okay. Are you guys ready for mine?
Go ahead.
Hit it.
My number 5. Dum 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 dum.
Oh,
Oh, the Mormons!
My number 5 is all about Mormons.
Dum 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 dum
Dum
dum.
dum. Okay, so there's a new family that moves into South Park.
Dum 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 dum.
We'll get into that song in a moment. But anyway, there's a new family that moves into South Park, and their son is in the class with the gang, and they moved from Utah, which is predominantly Mormon. Actually, no, not predominantly is an understatement. It's
ran by them.
It's Utah. No, if we have any listeners in the great state of Utah, we don't mean any harm. But it's majority Mormon, and they like come off as so nice. And of course, the gang doesn't like him. And then Kyle becomes friends with the kid. And then he invites him over for dinner. And they're doing this thing called family home
It's not
evening. You
Kyle,
don't watch
it's
TV.
Stan.
You just hang out with your family. Stan. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I stand corrected. Thank you, Allie. No, I genuinely mean that. Thank you. Anyway, so family home evening when you just hang out with your family and play games. And the family is like creepily nice. And I just want to say, I personally don't know any Mormons. Like I knew one
sure
when I
they're
was
very
in.
nice people.
What was that, Justin?
I'm sure they're very nice people.
I'm sure they're very nice people. Like I knew one Mormon when I was in college, and she seemed very nice.
I got a question though.
Sure.
Did this episode lead to the Book of Mormon?
I think it might have. Yes. For those who don't know, Trey Parker and Matt Stone later on wrote the Book of Mormon, which won all the Tonys.
Hello, my name is Elder Price. And
I'd like to share with you the most amazing book.
Christ.
That is a musical I really badly want to see.
Mm-hmm.
My mom and older sister saw it and they loved it.
Tickets are still impossible to get.
Just like Hamilton.
Hey, when tickets get cheaper one day, 3 of us, Book of Mormon.
Sure.
Justin,
Yeah.
you in?
Sure.
Hey, JT, it's your channel. You can come too. Yeah, so anyway, and they tell the story of Joseph Smith and listen, I remember, but I'm not gonna get into it. I don't know. I know basically next to nothing about Mormon theology, so
Okay.
but it is kind of like they go, Joseph Smith found the Mormon religion. Dum 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 dum.
Dum dum.
And when somebody makes a good point, they go smart. And it's just, they find, like, Stan finds a big contradiction at the end and loses it because, again, I'm not getting into the theological aspect of this because I know next to nothing about Mormonism. But yeah, it's just, hey, you know what's another good thing? Because Trey Parker and Matt Stone, either one of them, I want to say it was Trey Parker, I could be wrong, but either one of them actually had Mormon friends growing up and were invited to their house for a family home evening. And a lot of their Mormon friends, when they watched the episode, they actually loved it. They found it hilarious.
That's awesome.
And yeah, like I thought, like, oh my God, if Mormons saw this, they probably got deeply, deeply offended. But you know what? And we'll get more into this in another episode. I'm going to get into my top 5. Not going to give anything away, but I think this was the breeding ground for the Book of Mormon. And yeah, and just one more thing. I believe and dum 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 dum. So there, paid tribute to South Park and the Book of Mormon. Thank you. You're welcome, Trey Parker and Matt Stone. All right, Allie.
All right, now I'm going to the dead celebrities because that is my number 4.
That was one of my honorable mentions.
Yep. So pretty much Ike sees all these ghosts. Hi, Billy Mays here with
Billy Mays! David Carradine!
I forgot the rest of them. But somehow they ended up having all these like ghost things come on, like those Ghostbusters, not Ghostbusters, like those
the Ghost Hunters.
Yes, they come
Is there a spooky ghost here?
and all of a sudden, like what they thought was ghosts, was Chipotle. Even though God's honest truth, my little sister loves Chipotle, and Chipotle is good.
No, Chipotle is good, Justin.
Good.
By the way, not sponsored.
I know. If I knew we were gonna do this, I should have brought Chipotle with me.
You should have.
I know. And then all of a sudden they go to a seance and they realize that all the dead celebrities who died in 2009.
9.
I remember I graduated 6th grade because Michael Jackson died the day before my 6th grade graduation. Yeah.
That is like one of the days I remember. Like, I think I had just finished my freshman year of high school. when he died.
Mhm. Yeah, they realize all these dead celebrities are in purgatory, and it's like sitting in an airplane where it doesn't move and the seatbelt sign is on. And they're missing one person. And that one dead celebrity is Michael
Because you
Jackson.
need to know that you're dead. Now sit down and be quiet.
No,
That's
that's
ignorant.
ignorant. And all of a sudden, Michael Jackson possesses Ike Broflovsky. And the only way they would get Michael Jackson out of Ike if they make him a girl, a white girl. And what's the whitest? Well, they pretty much put Ike in a beauty pageant, like toddlers and tiaras. And there were some judges who were, I'll just say it straight, perverts.
Who should be in jail?
And then there was
Not
one
around,
judge.
no, not just around children. They shouldn't be around any human beings.
Are you sure they weren't part of NAMBLA?
We had to make that joke again, didn't we? We just want to. I just want to apologize to our very dear friend JT.
Sorry, JT.
This is like the most adult episode that we've had of the show. Allie, we're a family show here.
We have to.
Okay, go on, Allie.
No worries. We'll do an episode in the future for children for the best childhood shows, like educational television. Okay, going back.
No, for children, go back and watch our SpongeBob episodes.
Going back. Eric ends up getting the other judge who was eating Chipotle, convinces her to make Ike win. And then Michael Jackson finally floats up to heaven, not heaven, to purgatory. Ike is like, what the is going on here, Kyle? And finally, Michael Jackson has a trophy and a crown. They fly off and head into below. I mean, can I say it?
Yes.
Hell.
We said everything else here. That's not going to do anything else.
Yeah. Okay. They head to hell, which is, I forgot what it was, but they end up having to wait again. But yeah, that was pretty much it.
I love that. I really do like that episode. It's hilarious.
It was.
He's here.
Hi, Billy Mays here. I forgot Billy Mays died that year too.
That was a
A lot
sad
of people
year.
died that year.
I know.
And Farrah Fawcett died the same day as Michael.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he did. She did.
Yeah, because Michael's death kind of overshadowed it.
Oh, like she died first, though.
Shit.
Yep.
Like-
Mhm.
Everything was like, oh, Charlie's Angel is now Heaven's Angel. Farrah Fawcett dead. And then
Breaking news.
Michael Jackson has died. And then, you know, because for those hours, for everything was Farrah Fawcett, Farrah Fawcett, Farrah Fawcett, Farrah Fawcett. And then, boom. It
Michael
went
Jackson.
from Farrah Fawcett to Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Really died the exact same day.
Yep.
Okay. I yield.
Okay. Justin, you're number 4, buddy.
My number 4. Got another Butters episode, people. It is City Sushi.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Oh, you haven't seen this one?
No, I haven't.
So, Mr. Kim gets some competition when a sushi restaurant opens up next to City Walk.
Oh, I remember this episode now.
Meanwhile, Butters gets diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder because of all the characters he plays as. Inspector Butters, Policeman Butters, Fireman
Professor
Butters,
Chaos.
Yes.
Professor Chaos. Oh, that might be another episode I'll talk about later. So a doctor diagnosed him with multiple personality disorder. Dissociative DID. Make it easy on me. But then it turns out that this doctor has the idea as well. He's trying to convince Butters to commit crimes for him. Then sometimes he's a little kid. But the twist at the very end is, so Mr. Kim's trying to kill the sushi store owner. This with it being disguised as a peace offering, power of friendship. Can't exactly remember what happened for things to unravel, but it's revealed that the doctor is actually Mr. Kim.
Oh.
And they do the whole ending from Psycho. Oh, they'll wait and see. I won't even harm that cry. I even harm a cry. I just think it's a really great Butters episode.
That sounds like a good episode.
And
Oh yeah.
it's a really interesting insight on a character we've known since the Mongolian episode.
I love that episode. Was good too.
All right.
Yeah, that one I regret not putting on my list either.
Okay. My number 4, Canada on strike. Canada says no more of it. That we want respect. That's what we're fighting for.
How does this is the second time this has happened?
What?
Oh Lord.
Last time we were together, your 4 was my 3.
So my 4 is your 3.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
We swapped right. We lost audio.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I did not
JT. I
know-
swiped right with someone other than you this time.
Oh my God. So I guess
So anyway, yeah. You want to both talk about it?
sure.
Okay, so my number 4 is the Canada on strike episode. It's Canadian Day. It's like Canadian Day,
Canadian Pride Day. My fellow Canadians.
which really makes no sense that they're in school because Canada Day is on July 1st.
And it's in Colorado.
And they wouldn't be in school. But anyway, anywho, Canada is disrespected. And what do they want? We want more money.
Internet money. So they end up deciding to go on strike.
Canada on strike. Canada says no more. We need no more neglect. We want respect. That's what we're fighting for. It even took 3 hours to rehearse the striking song.
That's right. Sung by Canadian Paul. It's Canada on strike.
Canada on strike. So they go on strike, and
They take everything Canadian back.
yeah, and Kyle's little brother, who's adopted,
He had a sign that said honk if you support Canada.
and then they're trying to get
Poor
the
guy.
money, and this involves our favorite guy.
That's me.
Uh,
They got
Okay,
money
does
from
anybody remember
YouTube.
this? I say, look, anyone remember that?
You want to do my butt? Okay. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Remember that?
That's where that's from.
Hold on,
Actually,
it's
this
a
is from
parody of that.
YouTube. This is from YouTube. The original one was from YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then they're basically dying off during the Canadian strike.
And
And
Clarence and Philip were trying to get out of here, and they were calling each other buddy. Well, I'm not your buddy, guy.
I'm not your
Like-
guy, friend.
I'm not your friend. We'll do that in a second. But then, anyway, when the strike ends, it turns out the strike was a whole farce. They had plenty of money or something like that.
They ended up giving everybody coupons to Bennigan's.
And they're like, hey, we did the numbers. We lost more money from the strike. I'm like, hey, but we got respect, and that's important.
And then
Okay,
took
there was
the
also
hero.
Joke that Denmark becomes the new Canada.
Oh yeah.
and to that guy who's like the head of Canadian something, and they're like,
Canadian
"What
Bureau.
are you doing?" Go,
They
"What
cut
are you
him
doing?
off.
We're sending you out to sea. Now you can go hang out with the natives." Go, "This ain't over, friend.
I'm
not
not your friend, buddy.
He's not
I'm
your
not your buddy, guy. I'm not your guy, bud. I'm not your."
Goodbye.
Oh my goodness. We lost you again. But I'm also gonna go back to the part with all the other YouTubers that
Oh,
were in
that
there
is
that
funny.
weren't seen. It's all real people.
Yep.
Chocolate Rain, Tron guy, the Numa guy.
Yeah.
Panda. That weird woodchuck thing. I don't know. It was all real.
What's going on?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that is such a great episode.
Oh.
So we swiped right. So are you buying dinner or am I buying dinner? Joke I make with JT.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
So when is this happening?
Can't be this weekend. I'm busy.
I'm away. Right.
Yeah. So anyway. So yeah. So you want to talk about this more? You just want to go to
I
Justin?
think you
or-
covered a lot of it. I just bumped it. I mean,
Since it was my number 4, your number 3.
yep.
You want to just go to Justin with his number 3?
Swipe to Justin.
Justin, you're number 3.
Simpsons did it.
Yes.
I mic drop on that. I'm sorry. That's such a great episode. You get more Professor Chaos shenanigans. Damn, I should have put that on the list. Oh, well.
This is where I said the spoilers were going to come in after Tweet became the new 4th person.
Yeah.
Someone dies
after-
and Simpsons did it.
After Tweak replaced Butters as the replacement Kenny, you got all that? Okay.
Yes.
He becomes Professor Chaos. Think Doctor Doom, but lamer. So he decides to come up with all of these plans to take over the world, except for one thing.
Simpsons did it.
Simpsons did it.
Oh my goodness.
And he was always reminded by his
The sidekick.
sidekick or henchman or whoever he is. And it finally seems like he came up with an original idea. A dumb one, but it was original. Then what happened? Commercial for The Simpsons. They were Bart's about to do that idea himself. Simpsons did it.
Wait, doesn't Butter see everybody as a Simpsons character?
Yep, and that's when it starts. He starts seeing The Simpsons everywhere. He starts going nuts. Meanwhile, I think this is also the episode where Cartman drinks Kenny's ashes.
No, wait, is it? Yeah.
No, that's the Ladder to Heaven episode.
Okay, that's the
This
next
is the one where
episode,
Miss Chokes on Dick dies. Because of something involving the sea monkeys.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember the constant like, what is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen? Is this gonna happen?
That's why I wanted to say the spoilers were coming. No, Tweak, Miss Chokes on Dick.
Right. I'm sorry. I the fact that they got away with Miss Chokes on Dick.
Oh my. I don't want to talk about Miss Chokes on Dick because yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right.
But
Go on. I'm sorry.
And then there was also like this plot with the sea monkeys.
They were building civilization.
Right.
And one of them was
then-
Cartman civilization. What was the other? Was that Tweak?
And then they mixed it with something, and it caused the civilization to advance. And it caused the civilization to go to war with itself
And kill everybody.
and destroy itself. So, pretty clear idea of what's ahead of us.
Joy.
All right. You guys ready for my number 3?
Go for it.
Red Hot Catholic Love.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. This is an episode. Okay. The parents there get concerned when their local priest, Father Maxey, announces about a weekend retreat with a bunch of priests. And if anyone has been knowing news of what's been going on in the Catholic Church for the last 20, 30 years,
Oh boy.
I'll leave that to your imagination. Why would you not want, a priest with your son?
No, don't leave it to the imagination. Why do you want people thinking about that?
Actually, no, don't leave it to your imagination. Just of what's been going on in the church over the last 20, 30 years with priests and altar boys. And they don't feel comfortable with it. And there's a scene when they get a therapist saying, has Father Maxey ever tried to put something up your butt? And there's a whole nother plot. We'll get to that in a sec. That's a whole nother plot, and we'll get to that in a second. But anyway, Father Maxey, a lot of people are leaving the church and they become atheists. And Father Maxey is very concerned when he talks to the local priest. They all don't say it's a big deal. Says, you know what? I'm going right to the top. I'm going to the Vatican. And then they're saying, and they're like going, we know a lot of the priests are getting caught for doing that with boys. How do we do it and not get caught? Wait, what? No, why don't we just not do it?
Not do it.
Exactly. And then they're like, you've seen the episode, Justin?
Yeah.
You, Allie?
I don't remember this one. I know I thought I did once or twice, but
And
no.
then they're like, it's basically, and they go, the British and part of and then the alien, remember, Justin, like the alien type things, and on behalf of the Gargamex Catholics, I'm like, Gargamex? You know what? Can we just forget about the Gargamex for a second? What do you have against the Gargamex? Nothing. Just what works on that planet doesn't work here on Earth. And then it's the holy document of we can't get married. So what are we supposed to do? He goes, well, why don't we change the holy document of Vatican law so we can have sex with women?
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, but the holy document of Vatican law can't be changed. Go, why not? Because we don't know where it is.
Oh my goodness.
And going, and there's like alligators and snakes and water lizards. And then he goes, well, if you can find it, we can change it. And then they should I go to the, and then when, we'll go back to the main plot in a second. But anyway, remember that question about getting something stuck up your butt?
Yeah.
Boys are thinking, why would they want to stick something up my butt? And then Cartman comes up with the idea, go, wait, maybe if I stuck food in my butt, it would come out the mouth.
Oh!
Yeah.
And then
I think I've seen this one.
it ends up happening.
Gross.
Because Kyle and Cartman bet each other $20. And then I love when Cartman is like, takes the money and just throws it in. He goes, I went to the bank, I took Kyle's 20 and got it into 20 singles. And he's rolling around going, Kyle's money. Kyle's money. And he goes, oh, go yourself, Cartman. It's so stupid and immature. And then everybody's doing it. So it found out that it's healthier. They go, what do you want? What are you going to get? A freaking medal? For his efforts, the mayor of South Park will be giving young Eric Cartman a freaking medal.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, back to the plot with Father Maxey. He gets the holy document of Vatican law. And then he turns up to being, and then it says like, how did he get past the water lizards? And then he goes, there, I have the holy document of Vatican law. Can we change it now? And they're like, hold on, the Pope wants to say something. Okay, the Pope says we must consult the highest authority. And then some Gregorian chant comes in, and they go, oh my, he goes, behold, the great Queen Spider.
Oh gosh.
Oh, hail, Queen
Yeah, it
Spider.
gets nuts.
What was that, Justin?
I said, yeah, it gets nuts.
And you go in, Queen Spider, we seek your guidance. What is it that you seek? We want to change one of the Vatican rules. The Vatican rules cannot be changed. So say the Spider. And Father Maxey just has a breakdown and says, you guys have lost touch with the outside world. The God mentioned your Queen Spider. He goes, what about the holy document of Vatican law? What the hell is the holy document of Vatican law? And rips up the law, and the Vatican goes down.
Oh wow.
But then he makes a good speech at the end saying, you guys don't know what it's like to be a Catholic in the real world. You guys, because I followed this book, the Bible, which there's stories for us to guide our lives by. Love thy neighbor, be a good person. It's not about hierarchies and all this. And okay, for those of you who don't know, Trey Parker and Matt Stone can be very critical of religion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But here they don't really bash it that much. They bash what it becomes, but they don't bash the actual message of it.
Right.
They bash the dogma.
Yeah. An interesting fact, the Queen Spider is actually, I want to say it's actually a metaphor for the magisterium, which is the teaching office of the Catholic Church.
Oh.
Which is the office that decides church teaching. So I think that the Queen Spider was a metaphor for the magisterium. So, yeah, I just really like that episode because it pokes fun at the scandals that's been going on in the Catholic Church, but it doesn't do it. It doesn't paint it in the way that all priests are bad.
Mm.
There are some bad priests who do those things, but there are priests who think those things are wrong.
Mm.
And listen, I don't want to get into a whole discussion about that. We'll be here all night. But it's just a really good episode. And the Queen Spider is Justin, the Queen Spider is the best part of the episode.
It's hilarious.
So save the spider. Okay, we're moving on to Allie. So
All
save the
right.
spider.
Wow, we only have 2 left. Oh my goodness. So my number 2, bro, is a good episode. Bro.
Is it the PC?
No, it ain't PC, bro. Cause I'm talking
Oh, is
Wicked, bro.
Oh, is it the playwright episode?
Yes, Broadway Bro Down.
On Football Sunday.
So pretty much, Randy finds out that if he takes his wife to Broadway shows such as Wicked and New York City, he gets man time.
You're eating while you're doing this? That's gross.
Yeah, and you know what the irony is that we said earlier, Trey Parker and Matt Stone did a Tony Award-winning Broadway musical.
Yep. That's the whole irony. But that's pretty much the whole main plot. And then Randy decides to write a musical to get more man time. And ends up having to be in a bro down with Elton John, Andrew Lloyd Webber, Stephen Sondheim, and there's one more.
Stephen Schwartz, I think.
Oh, Stephen Schwartz. Okay.
And
yeah.
Yeah, Andrew Lloyd Webber did Cats, Phantom, Jesus Christ Superstar. Stephen Schwartz, who did Wicked. Also Pocahontas and Hunchback.
But yeah, Stephen Sondheim, rest in peace. West Side Story, Company.
Sweeney Todd.
Yep. And Elton John, Aida, Lion King.
Yeah, and and like what the irony is, how they portray them as very masculine. The irony is that 2 of them are gay.
Yep.
That's the irony in all this.
Mm-hmm. But in the subline, mainly Shelley and Stan end up trying to befriend the vegans. Well,
And we just want to say we have nothing against vegans. That's your
No,
personal choice,
no,
and we
no.
respect that.
Of course. But I think the son there ends up having a crush on Shelley, and somehow they both end up going to see Wicked, in which Randy dresses up as Spider-Man and just destroys the theater and kills the kid. Sorry. Sucks. And he reveals to Sharon why he took her to all those Broadway shows.
So they could have sex.
Not just sex.
You don't like crowds.
Man time.
I like to go to see
Blowjobs.
Dude.
Yeah, but as someone who has a sister who loves Broadway and just watching the show, I just laugh my butt off.
I think you and I may have watched this episode together at one point. I don't remember.
You know, I don't remember.
I think we did at one point.
Maybe.
Or you just told me about it. I don't remember.
I think I told you about it.
Well, I know, because I know there was one time you and I, when we were in college, we watched South Park together at least once.
I don't remember.
Me neither.
All right. I yield to Justin.
Justin, you're number 2, buddy.
All right, so my number 2. This is one I revisit a lot, actually. It's 2 days before the day after tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, that's today. This is the one where Dan and Cartman accidentally drive a boat into the Beaverton Dam, flooding the town, and everyone at first is blaming either the government or Al Qaeda, until the scientists say it's actually global warming.
Oh, wow.
And that they didn't listen. And then, Dan's feeling guilty. Carmen's like trying to forget about the whole thing. Dan tries to go to Beaverton to save all the citizens. They get trapped. Dan, Kyle, and Cartman, they all get trapped in Beaverton. The fathers of the boys go outside in the blistering heat, even though they think it's the day after tomorrow outside, and they're dressed up in like their I'm sorry, I just heard something kind of bizarre. Anyways, where was I? So they're dressed up in their warmest garments. They're going outside in the blistering heat. They think they're dying of hypothermia. And then at the end, the boys are saved by FEMA. They go back to the town and they are like, I broke the dam. And then everyone thinks that he's doing like this Sparkus thing. So everyone starts saying, I broke the dam. I broke the dam. And Sam's like, you guys are all in it. So you all. And everyone keeps on saying, I broke the dam. I broke the dam. And sorry, I keep getting distracted.
It's all right. All right. Any more? Or?
That's pretty much the gist of the episode. It's mostly known for the "we didn't listen" chant.
Yeah.
Because everyone is yelling in a panic. We didn't listen. We didn't listen. And then when it's revealed that the global warming was going to hit 2 days before the day after tomorrow, that's when Randy's like, "Oh my God, that's the day," in like the most action movie way he could. And then, of course, the entire Senate or House of Representatives, whichever it was, dispersed into a mass hysteria.
Oh wow.
Okay. Are you guys ready for my number 2?
Sure.
My number 2 is one of the most controversial episodes of South Park.
Episode 200?
No, it's an episode that's so controversial it caused a cast member to leave the show.
Oh.
Yup.
Episode.
My number 2 is Trapped in the Closet. Like, okay, for those who haven't seen the episode, Stan, after turning down Cartman, Kyle, and Kenny to save money for his new bike, ends up getting into Scientology. And at first they tell him he's depressed. And then they tell him that he's depressed. And then they said, just give us $200 and something and we'll make you not depressed anymore. So he gives them his bike money. He gives them the bike money, and they take this test, and it turns out the readings that they're off the charts from this test. And it turns out that he is the reincarnation, the prophet of Scientology's founder, L. Ron Hubbard.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Guys, do you think we have any Scientologists watching this?
I have no idea.
Probably not.
But and then of course, the thing that everybody talks about, it's saying Scientology has many famous faces, such as John Travolta and, of course, Tom Cruise.
No, Tom Cruise.
And yes, this was this around the same time? I think it was still at Nicole Kidman because she does appear in the episode. Because I was wondering, was this around the time with I'm in love with Katie Holmes? I'm in love with Katie Holmes. I'm in love with Katie Holmes. When he was jumping up and down Oprah's couch, yelling, I'm in love
Yeah,
with Katie Holmes.
that was more of a Family Guy bit, though. Not. It was based on a real
not
event,
getting out
but
of the closet.
Tom Cruise. So anyway, Stan, or should we say L. Ron Hubbard, tells Tom Cruise, do you like my movies? Going, oh, they're okay. They're not as good as Leonardo DiCaprio. And then he goes in the closet going, Stan, what's going on here? Tom Cruise won't come out of the closet. And he's like literally in the closet. And I just want to say to any of our LGBTQ viewers, we're not making fun of coming out of the closet. That's the joke. That he's literally in a closet. But I heard Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they wanted to make a joke about Tom Cruise possibly being gay. And they said, you can't say that. Goes, okay, then just say he's in the closet. And they literally put him in a closet. And they're like, Tom Cruise, please come out of the closet. Again, this has nothing to do with his sexuality. And they're like, and then John Travolta, come on, Tom, come out of the closet. Who cares what the prophet said to you? And then John Travolta's like, this closet's nice. I'm staying in the closet too.
Oh my God.
And then a music artist, which you know what, after all the horrible shit this person did, I don't think we should even mention this person's name because he did some very terrible things.
Oh wow.
what?
And you know who I'm talking about, Justin.
1 hour.
Don't leave it there.
You know who I'm talking about, Justin.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So we're not, but there is this part going, Tom Cruise, come out of the closet. And they're like singing, Tom Cruise, won't you come out of the closet? Tom Cruise and John Travolta, come out of the closet. And yeah. But you know what? This episode does do good. And we'll get to why that cast member left in a minute, I promise. is that it comes across that, when Stan actually believes this and the president of the Church of Scientology goes, no, I don't believe this. We're just doing this to make money. And that's the thing with a lot of these organizations.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to call them that word you're thinking. I don't want to use that word right now. And I think you know what word I mean. But my thing is, that's what these type of organizations do. They find someone and tell them that they're vulnerable and they're depressed and that they can help them, and then they just scam you out of your money.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's what these organizations do. And when they were going through the whole thing with Scientology and like what they believe, go watch the episode. And I'm trying to tread very carefully here because we may have Scientologists watching.
Right.
But it's so funny though. And okay, now the cast member lead. Isaac Hayes, who was the voice actor of Chef, was actually a Scientologist.
Yeah.
And he first found the episode very offensive. And actually, no, first he was like, that's what Trey and Matt do. They poke fun at everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But then the church got in his ear.
Yeah, and because I actually watched something about that, I'll tell you in a second. And he goes, he called the portrayal immature and ridiculous, and he left the show. And that last episode that he was in, The Return of Chef, if you've noticed, and I just figured this out today.
It was all of his old recordings.
Yeah, how his speech is very clunky. It was just all old recordings.
Because he died in 2008 of a stroke.
Oh, well, that was released before he died.
The stroke.
But the stroke was actually a reason why he didn't come, because apparently his agent gave that statement to Trey Parker and Matt Stone, because Isaac Hayes' son said that no, Dad didn't officially leave the show. It was like his agent or his assistant that told him that he was leaving, because at the time Isaac Hayes had a stroke and he was basically unable to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the people who were working for him were all part of the Church of Scientology. So what Justin said was true. The church basically got in Isaac Hayes' ear, and they basically told Trey Parker and Matt Stone. And before I knew this, Trey Parker and Matt Stone made a good point. Was saying, we don't see him getting upset when we make fun of Christianity or Mormons or Muslims or Jews, but when it's his religion, he's upset and he gets sensitive to it. I want to ask you guys, just give me a quick answer. Do you think they have a point or not really?
Oh, they have a point.
I guess.
Because they really don't. They're not selective with who they target.
They target anyone.
They're EOOs, equal opportunity offenders. They make fun of everyone. Like religious-wise, they make fun of Christians. They make fun of Muslims. They make fun of Jews. They make fun of Mormons.
Although I will say, the amount of Jew jokes in that show is over 9,000.
Yep.
And, when it comes to politics, they make fun of liberals. They make fun of conservatives. They make fun of everybody.
Yeah.
Even Trump.
You mean
Especially
the douche?
Trump.
No, Mr. Garrison. It's Mr. Garrison. I forgot. It was him.
Yeah, but that was a parody of who.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because didn't Mr. Garrison kill Trump or something?
Canadian Trump.
Yeah.
But so Trap in the Closet was an episode that caused a cast member to leave.
Wow.
And Tom Cruise come out of the closet. Okay, Allie, my dear, what is your number one?
If any of you swipe right, let me know.
Okay.
Scott Tenorman must die is my number one pick.
Oh my God. I wanted to put this on the list so badly.
Just because how far Cartman can go to get revenge, especially on an older kid like Scott Tenorman,
His own brother.
stepbrother. Oh, half brother.
True.
Because
Yeah,
you know who
half-brother.
Cartman's mom had sex with?
The entire
Denver Broncos. She had an orgy. She had okay.
Carmen's mom is a slut.
She's a dirty slut.
She is.
Okay. But mainly the whole episode was just Cartman trying to get revenge on Scott Tenorman. And in the end, they had like this peace chili. And you know what's inside the chili Cartman gives Scott?
What?
His parents.
Mr. and Mrs. Tenement Chili.
I made you eat your parents.
Dude, let's never piss off Cartman again.
Just like how you said with the episode, never get on Cartman's bad side.
There are 3 episodes that I'd point to that shows that Cartman is beyond redemption. Scott Tenorman Must Die. The Future Selves episode where Cartman's future self actually does show up and he's like, yeah, fuck that. I'm going to do whatever. He turns into a fat blob again. And those are the 3 episodes I always point to.
If anyone else wants to talk about Scott Tenorman Must Die, please do so. Otherwise, I yield.
I'm just going to sing one little song. There's a piggy, here's my snout. Oink, oink, oink.
I forgot about all that.
All right, Justin. What's your...
Hold
sorry.
on.
Go on, Allie.
I just realized that actually foreshadows the Shots episode where Cartman squeals like a pig. All right.
All right, Justin. What's your number 1?
My number 1 is the return of the Fellowship of the Two Towers.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, the Lord of the Rings episode.
What was it,
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings? Or was it something else?
It was the Lord of the Rings.
You know what I mean?
Oh, the video was the other video, which turns out to be adult film.
I remember the title of Dirty Sluts 9. I think it was something like that.
Butters calls the precious.
And then
It's
all the fathers knew exactly what kind of movie it was. It was like, no! And all the mothers like,
Wait, was it the one where like the 6th graders were trying to grab that video?
Yes.
yeah.
Give us that boy. Oh.
They're essentially the Black Riders. That's the thing, like this whole episode is basically the Lord of the Rings. You know, they're tasked with returning the ring
To Blockbuster.
to the Blockbuster.
It should have been one of my other top picks.
And then you have our favorite character, Butters,
That's me.
Butter.
turning into Gollum.
Yes.
My movie. I tell you, the movie. My passion.
Oh my goodness. It's a good one.
It is a fun episode.
It's such a fun episode. I just love how the parents really make the episode. Like the stuff with the kids is fun as well, but like the parents really make that episode.
Yep.
Okay. You ready for me to bring it on home?
Get it.
Go for it.
My number 1 is The Passion of the Jew.
Of course it would be.
Of course, it had
Of
to.
course.
It had to have shown up.
What you
Of
knew
course,
I
Mel
was
Gibson.
okay. What was that, Allie?
Of course, you would pick that.
No, what were you say about Mel Gibson?
Of course, Mel Gibson. You know how they parody him in that.
It's hilarious. But anyway, the plot is Cartman and Kyle are fighting again. Cartman says some anti-Semitic things.
Doesn't he make Kyle watch Passion of the Christ?
And said, well, you should go watch The
Yeah.
Passion. And that's what the movie is causing you to hate you people.
Wait.
And then
Okay, go on.
Kyle watches The Passion. And then Kyle says to Cartman, you were right. And then Cartman goes, I'm ready to do thy bidding, Mel Gibson. And he treats Mel Gibson like a god. And
Doesn't Stan and Kenny go to Mel Gibson's mansion to
yeah,
get?
and then Stan and Kenny say, let's
For a
go see it.
refund.
He goes, yeah, it sucked. Let's get our money back. And then Cartman, motivated by The Passion, starts a movement which is basically rooted in anti-Semitism.
Fascism.
Mm,
Like when you see he's dressed as
and
Hitler.
it's
Yeah.
and it's like it's him starting the Third Reich, and it's
And he takes advantage of basically stupid people
mhm.
because he's saying anti-Semitic, basically Nazi chants. And they're going,
But stuff
what
like
is
that
that?
can't
And like,
happen
oh, it
in
must be
real life, right?
it must be Aramaic. And yeah, but anyway, Kyle and Stan and Kenny go to Mel Gibson's house to get his money back. And it turns out Mel Gibson is just a lunatic. And then he goes, I need that $18 money so I can build my church. You know why I want to build a church? So I can play banjo. Jesus, how I love you. How I love you, Jesus. Goes, oh my God. And remember, goes, I know you all want to torture me. Just don't use the whips on the wall. And then he goes, so I can play banjo. Jesus. He goes, God, dude, this guy is daffy. How dare you call me crazy? This is war. And then Kyle is starting to feel guilt and tells the synagogue that maybe they should apologize for killing Jesus. And you know what? It covers all three camps perfectly in reaction to the Passion of the Christ. Jewish guilt, anti-Semitism,
And shitty movie.
and just how insane Mel Gibson is. And then, but I find the ending very, when Cartman's people from the Mel Gibson fan club and Kyle's synagogue are starting to fight, and then Mel Gibson shows up and he's going, you all want to torture me? And then Kyle goes, Stan, Kyle, Kenny, is that? Yeah, that's Mel Gibson going, dude, what's wrong with him? Goes, he's cuckoo. He's absolutely out of his mind. And then he goes, I was having nightmares because of that guy's movie. And then he goes, give me my $18 back. And then he goes, it's our $18. Your movie sucked. You can't say my movie sucked. Saying my movie sucked is saying Christianity sucks. He goes, if you want to be Christian, that's fine, but you should follow what Jesus taught rather than how he died. Because how he died
That's
was
what
in
the Dark Ages did. And look how it turned out for them.
Yep.
Because, like, little thing here, because there's a part in the episode when Kyle is talking to the priest, Father Maxey, and he says, the Bible doesn't really give an account doesn't really talk about the crucifixion a lot. Well, it does, but it's not highly focused on. Saying the Passion was actually performed as a performance piece in the Middle Ages. And to basically drive up anti-Semitism, saying that the Jews killed Jesus. And yeah, but you know what? This movie just covers, like I said, all three camps perfectly. And saying like, now I feel much better about being Jewish knowing that Mel Gibson is just a wacko douche. And yeah, so that's the list.
Wow.
Well, I think we've been here for like 2.5 hours.
2 hours.
Yes, we have.
No, 2 hours, 20 minutes.
Okay, we started a little late, so wow, we spent 2 hours and 20 minutes talking about South Park. Anyone have any
4 hours
final
and 20
thoughts?
minutes. Ha ha.
Anybody have any final thoughts?
There's a lot of episodes we did not cover.
I know.
I know we would have to do
We
If we
have
were
to
to go
do
through-
another whole like episode just on like different characters, best moments of them.
Yeah, we should do that one day.
Love to.
And I would just like to say, South Park has gone on for 25 years. And you know what? It's one of those shows, it can go on for another 50 years for all I care.
Oh yeah.
Because you've heard me say shows like The Simpsons and Family Guy need to just wrap it up. South Park can go on forever for all I care because
Yeah, seriously, they haven't lost steam.
South Park can be current. They can talk about current issues. And, there have been times in recent years where The Simpsons try to get political. But I don't really feel it's a Simpsons episode. It's a Simpsons episode trying to be a South Park episode.
But The Simpsons did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, South Park has stayed current for 25 years. And they can talk about those subjects. Because
they've done it since the beginning.
I want to just tell you a quick story. A guy who I used to be friends with, I'm no longer friends with this person, who we were talking about South Park. Because I used to watch it, but then it got too political. And I'm like, South Park has always been political.
Yep.
They've always been political.
I'm sorry that you no longer align with it.
Yeah, and the thing is, because South Park, they offend everyone. Like I said, they offend liberals, conservatives, Republicans, Democrats, Christians, Jews.
They offend everybody,
Muslims,
regardless of who
Mormons.
you are.
Scientologists.
Oh, believe me, the Muslims got really offended.
Even celebrities got offensive.
They offend everyone. And you know what?
That's what's fun about it.
That's what's fun about it. And like I said, when Trey Parker or Matt Stone showed the episode to his Mormon friends, they found it hilarious. And like I said earlier, the show South Park is a show that's stupid but smart at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do whole doctoral thesis on episodes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, congratulations, South Park. Happy 25th anniversary.
And there's one more thing I gotta say.
What?
Screw you guys.
Yeah, I'm going home. Well, no, we don't do that.
Oh, wait, are you sure?
Yeah.
Minor?
Well, guys, that is our episode. I'd like to thank both Justin and Allie for being here tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you like what you see here, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and also check out my podcast, the Sports Insanity Podcast, and
mute him.
And the Sports Insanity Network. Football season's coming up, so we're gonna be really busy. And also check out this show in podcast form on Spotify. So again, I'd like to thank Justin and Allie for joining me. Stay tuned next week. I actually won't be here next week. I'm actually going to be away for a night or two. But JT will. I don't know if he's going to have someone to fill in for me or he's going to go alone. You'll just have to wait and see. So I will see you folks in 2 weeks. Thanks for coming and stay safe and take care. Screw you.